What's up, Arizona? You're watching 12 Sports Tonight. I'm Cameron Cox, talking all things Arizona sports. As always, we're going to tell you the important stories, the ones that matter, and introduce you to people that inspire. This is 12 Sports Tonight, Arizona's OG and longest-running sports show, streaming for you for free. Let's go. I don't think I've ever looked more forward to a Cardinals camp than this one, because the offseason, boy, was it just filled with way too much drama. So let's just get to some football. Let's get some action going and leave all the drama in the past. Here's the good news. Day one, first practice, the Cardinals hit the field. Here's the deal. Jacoby Brissett on the field. According to head coach Mike LaFleur, he will practice today despite his ongoing contract dispute with the team. So QB1 is accounted for. We did get some bad news, some tough news to start day one at camp. Two starters on the physically unable to perform list, offensive lineman Paris Johnson Jr. and pass rusher Josh Sweat. The good news with them, though, if camp started a week and a half later like everyone else in the NFL, those two will likely be on the field then. So they're going to be slow-rolled to start camp. As for the expectations with this team, who knows? Many around football don't have too high of hopes for the Cardinals, but they're not paying attention to that yet, and they know they flat out just need to win.
One, we'll always ignore it. Two, we'll always embrace competition. So, we got a pretty cool division, and let's get better today, and then next day let's get a little bit better, and then let's try to peak on September 13th. But there's got to be an urgent and gradual incline to get to that moment.
I have very high expectations with the team. You see the media sometimes, you see things sometimes. For me, it doesn't really get to me because, they're just on the outside looking in. With the player personnel that we have, with the coaching staff that we have, I have very high expectations on this team.
They're smart. They understand the system, and we've been taking it slow. But since day one and OTAs and just making sure the fundamentals are there and taking one step at a time, and just had a really, really crisp walkthrough. I didn't expect it to be that crisp, and it was really good to feel. So I feel like all the communication was good. We came back right where we left off, so that was awesome.
Well, that's good to hear. They picked up right where they left off. Walkthrough check. First practice is ongoing right behind me. And no joke what Mike LaFleur was talking about. This division is tough. The 49ers are better. The Seahawks are the defending champs. The Rams are the Rams. But I want people at home to know the Cardinals are improved too as well. They got a lot of talent on this team. We'll see if they can put it all together here at camp. Also on the field today, right guard Isaiah Adams. Remember, he was arrested in Canada on gun charges a few days ago. He is here at camp. Head coach Mike LaFleur saying it's good to see him, and that's all I'll say about that. The Cardinals are starting camp a week earlier than everybody else. They're playing in that Hall of Fame game right here on 12 News against the Carolina Panthers. Hard to believe that's 2 weeks from today, right? So the Cardinals going to play a game in 2 weeks. And the best news of everything, day one of practice, Jacoby Brissett is on the field. Of course, he is expected to be the starter this season. All offseason, he's been with this ongoing contract dispute. He's the starter, so he wants starter money. That obviously has not happened yet. We did have a chance to talk to head coach Mike LaFleur. He's very happy to see Jacoby out there. Did not flinch whatsoever when asked if his starting quarterback was going to practice today.
Still ongoing. It's been productive between us and his team, so still ongoing. But I'd say the word productive.
You will be practicing.
He will be practicing. Yeah, I mean he's here. He's under contract, and and it's the first day of practice. So
anticipating for practice, Coach. You might not do anything out there.
He'll be practicing.
How do you know?
Because he'll be practicing.
There you go, guys. He'll be practicing. So the starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, is out there. So is Gardner Minshew and third-round pick Carson Beck, who many fans want to see play. Trust me, they're going to get to see a lot of Beck this preseason. You never know how much the starters are going to actually play, so expect Beck to play a lot here in the preseason. But the best news of all, QB1 on the field for day one of training camp.
Our Cardinals are undefeated. We get to talk about, maybe some bright spots of the season coming up. Everybody's happy.
Sure, that's the best part, right? Everybody's undefeated at this time of the year. Everybody's in a great mood. It's day one of camp. Football season is back. It doesn't get any better than that. Cardinals camp, day one of camp. Cardinals practicing right behind me right now, about to wrap up their first practice out here at training camp. We did get some news to start practice. Two starters on the physically unable to perform list, left tackle Paris Johnson Jr. and pass rusher Josh Sweat on the PUP list. But good news from Mike LaFleur. If camp was started like a week and a half later, like everyone else, those two would likely be out there. Also out there on the practice field, QB1. The biggest question of the offseason was answered moments the Cardinals stepped on the field. Jacoby Brissett practicing day one of Cards camp. He is expected to start this season. Brissett went 1-11 filling in for Kyler Murray last year, but the offense, boy, did it move under him in the locker room. They're behind him. Head coach Mike LaFleur said the contract talks are ongoing. Now with Brissett out here, though, he could catch up since he didn't practice all offseason.
Obviously didn't have him through OTAs or mini camp or anything like that. So right now, just getting him up to speed with our operation, with our cadence, with our formations, our no huddle package, our pass game, our run game, all that kind of stuff. So not really worried about that stuff right now. Really not worried about what any of these guys have ever done in the past, right? It's just about building it one day at a time and seeing how good we can be every single day.
I definitely think Jacoby did a great job coming in last year. I know we didn't get the wins that we wanted to get, but I think he held command of the offense at a very, high level. Just the ability to have him even practicing, that's going to be good for him because he hasn't practiced at all. So hopefully he's with the ones so I can pick him off. But, I'm just a competitor.
All in good fun, right? Hey, another player on the practice field after some offseason drama. Right guard Isaiah Adams was arrested over the weekend on gun charges in his home country of Canada. Head coach Mike LaFleur would not comment on the ongoing legal situation, but said Adams is doing good, and it's good to see him. By the way, Adams' lawyer telling ESPN his client is completely innocent. First training camp for rookie first-round pick Jeremiah Love. Fans very excited to see him and this offense this season. Not a lot of expectations for the Cardinals, but maybe that's when they surprise some folks around Arizona sports. I believe they'll be better than most think. Coach LaFleur, he's juiced up. His first camp, so what are his emotions?
When they come to the stadium, whether it's Sundays, September 20th, our first game, or our first preseason game, or right now in training camp, I want them, like, this is football. Like, there's nothing else going on. There's no meetings or nothing like that. We have walkthrough, but that's still ball. They get, and they go back in, they get dressed, they get prepped, and then they go out and practice. So feeling good about that. But to answer your question, I know I didn't answer it, but that's all I'm focused on is these guys and taking it one day at a time with them.
Guys, that's like football coach 101. You're so juiced up, you just kind of dance around the question. You don't even remember what the question was. Their Lamborghini, right? Rookie running back Jeremiah Love going through his first camp. Big things expected from the first-round pick. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of rotate Love in the backfield. They also have James Conner back there, Tyler Algier, and Trey Benson. I do know this, the rookie is already impressing his teammates.
Freak athlete. He's fun in the locker room. You get to talk to him. Sometimes it's hard for a rookie to kind of open up and stuff like that, but he's very natural.
The more good dudes that you have that have a baseline talent level, I think we all agree that he has a pretty good baseline talent level. Usually the better you're going to be. Usually the better your culture is going to be. But he also has some awareness that he's a rookie too, in terms of, I'm gonna be a rookie in there as well, and I'm gonna lean on these guys that have done it in the league.
Cardinals back on the practice field tomorrow. You, the fans, can show up here. It's the first practice in front of fans. It all gets going around 4 o'clock. Admission and parking are both free, but you do need to register for some digital tickets. Just visit azcardinals.com for more information. So today the first practice, tomorrow the first practice with fans. We are off and running with training camp and football season.
This is a date that Cardinals fans always have circled on their calendar because they get to watch practice for free.
Yeah, Mark, this feels like the first day of Cardinals camp when they let the fans in the building. They get a first look at the team. It's always very exciting, right? It's actually the second practice of Cardinals camp. First day with fans here. Don't forget, you at home can come out to 7 more practices after today. Admission is free. Parking is free. It's AC. It's indoors, right? You do need a digital ticket. You can get those on azcardinals.com. Recently a fan asked me, hey, who is rock solid on this team? Like, who's someone you can really count on? Well, center Hjalte Froholdt came to mind. This is year 4 with the Cardinals, the longest stop of his soon-to-be 8-year career. And like all of us here in Arizona, he's built rock solid. In Arizona, we like rocks. We got a nice collection. Cardinals center Hjalte Froholdt is built like the rock.
If you're some man!
Not that rock.
I love working out. and I love training. It's really fun to me.
Arizona has famous rocks. Cathedral Rock, a column of rock at Superstition Mountains. There's Hole in the Rock, Merry-Go-Round Rock, and rocks named after animals. Spider Rock, Elephant Rock, Snoopy Rock. In Arizona, we got houses built in rocks.
I got pretty decent at towel pull-ups. That's fun.
Last season, our cameras catching the Desert Viking downing some protein after practice.
I love protein. I don't know if you've seen that commercial before. All these bodybuilders on the beach, just like, you like protein? I love protein.
And talking about the giant rocks he'd like to add to his home gym.
I want to go to just like a stonemason, just be like, can you just chop me up some natural rocks? And just, I need a 100-pounder, 150-pounder, 200-pounder, and 250-pounder.
A year later, still no boulders at home. Are they like hard to get?
I don't know. I assume you can just go out and find one, but I don't know what the legalities of that is. I don't know. I don't know if you're just allowed to take rocks. I don't know whose property rocks are. Could be mine. Just head up to Sedona and get some historic rock. That'd be cool in the back of, in the gym, but we don't have room enough for it yet. Wifey doesn't really like it taking up all that room. And the kids, it's a health hazard.
Now that's rock solid parenting advice.
Yeah, that's my TED Talk today. It was fun.
Yeah, guys, I don't know how safe boulders are around the house. All right, it is day 2 of Cardinals camp. We'll catch you up on how camp is going, who's out there and who's not, coming up at 5 o'clock. Cardinals, of course, less than 2 weeks away from their first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game between the Cardinals and the Panthers. You can watch that game right here on 12 News. Larry Fitzgerald will be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, 12 Sports will be along for the ride. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I hired a stonemason, and he made me a 10-pound rock, 15-pound rock, and I didn't want to go to 20, so a 17-pound rock.
It is quite the request, right? Of all things, yeah. Interesting.
You know what, Tram? It is. And I know the mom in you is like, don't you dare bring those rocks inside this house.
Yeah.
The second thing, if he's looking for rocks, like Facebook Marketplace, people always giving away free rocks. I'm sure he could find something there. And actually, I just took a quick media poll of those of us right around here. Just so you know at home and everybody back at the station, they keep it about 75 degrees in here. Some say even 70. So it's a perfect day on the hottest day of the year. Come out and watch some Cards camp. Yes, fans in the building. Nice to have them back. Second practice of Cardinals camp still ongoing right behind me. It's good to see the fans back in the building. Of course, the Cardinals welcoming the fans to camp for the first time this fall. A couple of thousand in the doors to see first-year head coach Mike LaFleur. All the big names on the field. Rookie running back Jeremiah Love, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jacoby Brissett still not practicing with the first team and still without a new contract. Regardless, it is great to have fans in the building.
It's great because the crowd, the fans, is just able to see us and see how we work. There's going to be a little, some spectators today, so it always gives you a little juice, a little game feel, so it's going to be fun today.
Like a lot of people always count out the Cardinals. A guy that's going into year 4 who loves the state of Arizona. I love the people here. I've never had a bad interaction with anyone in the state of Arizona. My daughter was born here. Like, I have a lot of love and passion for this franchise and this organization. And, why wouldn't I have the utmost confidence in what we're trying to do this year?
There we go, Mr. Arizona, Michael Wilson. Not a lot of expectations for this team nationally, but around here, they're tired of losing. The Valley's still getting to know Coach LaFleur. What kind of camp is he going to run? What type of coach will he be? I did get to ask him, what is his rules when it comes to fighting during practice?
You don't fight because you can't fight in a game. So why are we going to do anything that I guess you can fight in a game, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to cost the team, and then, you're probably going to miss a game, if not more. So don't fight. Now, if you do fight, I have a responsibility for this team to do what is best for this team. If that means that it's going to hurt the team to kick you out of that practice, then I got to keep you out there. If it's going to hurt the team to keep you in practice because you're going to keep fighting, then I got to get you out.
Yeah, Mark, actually I was going to start with that, man. On the hottest day today in Phoenix history, man, come on. I'm so lucky to be inside for Cardinals camp, and I know the Cardinal fans who are here kind of feel the same way. It felt perfect inside the building for day 2 of Cardinals camp. First day with fans inside, so that's always exciting. And listen, when fans get in the building, the energy gets turned up a little bit.
As soon as doors opened for the first open practice here at State Farm Stadium, fans were running to their seats like it was game day at AT&T Stadium. A lot of new for fans to look forward to, but after a 3-win season, a lot of the folks I spoke with don't really know what to make of this team just yet. What is your prediction for the Cardinals in 12 words or less?
We're gonna win? I don't know.
I wouldn't know what to say.
Your Arizona Cardinals 2026 prediction in 12 words or less.
Building for next year.
Get a lot of touchdowns.
All right, Henry, what you got? You got 4 words for the Cardinals for me this season. What are they?
Get pick sixes.
Could I just do one word?
Sure.
Mediocre.
They're going to make the playoffs.
Boom.
Playoffs. I don't know how far, but we'll get in them, I think.
Definitely Jeremiah Love, Rookie of the Year. I was excited for this pick this year.
7 more opportunities for fans to get an up-close look at this team. Free admission, free parking, all here at State Farm Stadium.
Arizona Cardinals continue training camp out in Glendale. Intensity really ramping up this afternoon.
Because, everybody looks so nice in their shorts and T-shirts, and they're running around like gazelles out there. But now you put the pads on, Cam. You get a little hitting in there.
That's right, Troy. You get angry. You get to hit people a little bit. Football is officially back. Pop, pop, the sound coaches likes to use, right? Yes, guys, today feels like the first official start of Cardinals training camp because, number one, the pads come on, and that's where it's kind of Troy is alluding to. You find out what people are made of. There's no longer it's short and T-shirts whatsoever. It's about real football now and gearing up, for course, for week 1. So today the Cardinals putting on the pads for the first time. Practice going on right to the side of me right now here at State Farm Stadium. It also feels like the true first day of camp because Jacoby Brissett, quarterback who got the raise over the weekend, the starter all along, is getting reps with the first team. So the Cardinals got their quarterback. He's got their new contract. He's getting reps with the first team offense. So finally, guys, it's starting to feel like the true start of football season. And believe it or not, next week the Cardinals have their first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game, Canton, Ohio, against the Carolina Panthers. Larry Legend going in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So that sound is back. The feeling is back. Football has begun. True football has begun out here at State Farm Stadium, guys.
It does seem crazy to me that, obviously they're professional athletes, but they're not getting a whole lot of practice time before they have to go out there and run these plays for real and get hit by guys who are trying, they're not trying to hurt them, but they're trying to hit them hard.
Yeah, Troy, and it's interesting you bring up hitting, right? Like you would think there's a lot of tackling when you put on the pads. That is not the case anymore. They don't want to get anybody hurt, so there's just a lot of thudding going on is how Coach LaFleur put it today. They're not taking anybody to the ground. NFL teams don't do a lot of tackling when it comes to practice. They get a lot of those reps. Hard to believe in the game now. But Coach LaFleur does want to see some contact out there. He does want to see some collisions, but you won't see anyone go to the ground. No real tackling on day 1 with pads.
Our ears perked up a bit on Sunday. Marvin Harrison Jr. made a couple of visits to the trainers during practice. What's the update on him?
Yeah, Tram. Cardinal fans were just a little worried because after some deep balls and deep catches in the end zone, Marvin Harrison Jr., he kept going over to the trainers and he was stretching and kept calling them over, and you were wondering, what was up. We did get a chance to ask Coach LaFleur about it today. Cramps. That was it. He was just cramping up, just need a little bit more water. All is good. MHJ is out there today getting reps with the first team in full pads. So the heat, it doesn't matter if you're indoors or not. It affects everybody at some point out here in the desert. And it got to Marvin, obviously, on Sunday, but all good today for the first day with pads.
He's got all those big muscles now, Cam. And when you get all those big muscles, because he looks like a weightlifter now, easy to cramp those things up, right? When you have so many muscles. So they're inside now.
Troy,
you got AC in the stadium.
You would be the expert on that, right?
I'm the expert on the 1-pack. You've heard of a 6-pack? I have a 1-pack. But so they're inside, but they're going to go outside and practice in this heat.
Oh.
That almost seems dangerous.
Yeah, guys, so obviously they hold Cardinals camp in here, and they've done it for over a decade now out here at State Farm Stadium. So don't necessarily have to worry about the heat. The hottest part of the day is going from the parking lot to the front door out here in Glendale. But in a few weeks, they're going to take camp, obviously, back to Tempe in their practice facility. They're going to have to practice outdoors. Coach LaFleur was asked about that today because it's 1 billion degrees outside, and they're going to have to change some of their practice habits. They're going to go very early in the morning, according to Coach LaFleur. He has started to pick brains of the veterans on this team, like Zaven Collins and Budda Baker, the longest tenured members on this roster. He also reached out to former Cardinals head coach Bruce Arians to see what he did back in his day out here in the desert. And he also talked to Larry Fitzgerald just to kind of get some ideas of how to practice a team in the heat It is dangerous. It is hot. They still got to practice outdoors on the grass. So they're starting to kind of get all that down now. But Coach LaFleur has got a very firsthand lesson of what true Arizona heat is this week. He asked if we knew anybody that could turn down the heat. I didn't get a chance to tell him this, but I'm going to volunteer Lindsay. Because Lindsay has to know somebody that can turn this heat down. Like she has
a messenger.
I think she could do it.
And she's doing an excellent job of messaging, but she takes a lot of heat for the heat.
She does.
Sometimes it feels like preseason lasts forever, but once they get in pads at least, they start looking like football players.
Yeah, Troy, now that they're back in pads, you can really start the countdown for when the season will be here, and it's hard to believe it'll be here before you know it. Their first preseason game is next week. So today, getting the pads on, getting the hitting going, team practicing right now right behind me out here at State Farm Stadium. There are about 30 more minutes left here in practice. So far, so good, no injuries, so day one in pads is going well. Let's show you some action from today. First day of pads, so you got to make sure that helmet works, right? Rookie Jeremiah Love getting his gear going. First time he's put on his pads in his NFL career. Cardinals' first practice in pads, no tackling, all right? That's the rule, but there was plenty of hitting, plenty of thudding, as Coach LaFleur likes to say. Truly felt like the first day of camp because starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett getting reps with the first team offense for the first time under new head coach Mike LaFleur. So, Coach, explain the rules of hitting.
If anyone in the hole has a shot to thud them up. I don't want to see 11 guys thudding up. That's not realistic. So let them go and then go get your shot on the ball. And guys got to know how to practice. And typically the guys that don't know how to practice are the guys that just can't stick around because they're not capable of it. Look forward to seeing them be physical but being smart at the same time.
When the pads come on, you can hear the noise of making the tackle and hear the thuds and kind of, the smack talk comes a little more and it means a little more at that time. And, you call it real football for a reason because, the pad starts clacking, voices get a little lower, some voices get a little higher. So it's fun. Line it up.
We cannot wait for that. We cannot wait for real football to be back. It is back now. It's good to see the Cardinals back in pads. This is where you start to learn a little bit about the team. Jeremiah Love, the rookie, getting a lot of first-team reps, so that was exciting to see. Marvin Harrison Jr. back out there today after spending summer practice on Sunday with the trainers. So real football is upon us, and the season, guys, is right around the corner. And Troy, listen, since you're the muscles expert at 12 News, as you said at 4 o'clock, I'm going to tell Coach LaFleur, you're the guy who's going to give any tackling demonstrations, all right? If he needs somebody to show him how to do it, you got it.
They would break me in half, I tell you that, one hit. But Lopez, the local guy, I love what he was saying there. It makes so much sense. Some voices with pads on get quieter, and some get louder. I mean, when the pads come on, it gets real.
Yeah, you find out who the real football players are, guys. It feels so good to see the Cardinals in pads again. It just gives you sights and sounds that real football is upon us and the season is right around the corner. Yes, this is week 2 of Cardinals camp, but it really feels like week 1. Like this is the start of training camp today when you put the pads on for the first time. And guys, it did not take long for the action to pick up. Everybody get hyped. First day in pads brings out some trash talking, no tackling, but there was plenty of hitting. Felt truly like the first day of camp because starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett, fresh off getting that raise, getting reps with the first team for the first time under new head coach Mike LaFleur. Hits Trey McBride over the middle. James Conner still not practicing in any team situations. Tyler Algier and Jeremiah Love splitting the reps with the ones, and the rookie, as he's done all camp, continues to show off that raw talent, real speed, the moves. Marvin Harrison Jr., all good. He was cramping on Sunday. This is not good. Another drop right in the breadbasket over the middle. Saw this way too much the past few years. Maybe there really is a battle for wide receiver 1. Michael Wilson, great catch. I love the team's reaction. Like I said, everybody's fired up. Speaking of being happy, Valley boy Roy Lopez is loving being back with the hometown team. In the locker room, the guys call him Mr. Arizona, but that title belongs to a different Valley athlete. You known around these parts as Mr. Arizona? Is that what I'm gathering?
No, but I saw they gave that title to Koa Pete. Shout out Koa Pete, man. That's so cool. I can't wait to wear a Pete jersey to the stadium, man. So that's cool.
What do you remember about him playing basketball in the Valley and then at Arizona?
I've heard about him since he was a little kid, man. The whole family. I've heard about their whole family. I got to play against Andros last year, and yeah, man, the whole family. It's a legendary family, man. Legendary last name for sure.
Talented bunch. Like the whole group is talented.
They're family. Yeah, they're stacked. They're all tall and big boned, man. So no, I've known them for a long time. They've known me and my family for a long time as well. So it's really cool to see him get drafted. You know, when he got drafted, it was like one of my family members getting drafted, man. It was all in our group chat, and everybody was proud and happy. So great pick. Great pick.
You have to rock that jersey to the game at some point.
I will. I'll be rocking the Pete jersey for sure.
Day 2 of the pads popping here at training camp for the Arizona Cardinals. The fans are out here. The countdown is on to Canton. This time next week, 12 Sports will be in Canton, Ohio, getting ready for the Hall of Fame game and, of course, Larry Fitzgerald's induction into the Hall of Fame. And that's when the hits get even more real. And we heard from second-year cornerback Will Johnson earlier today. He said his welcome to the NFL moment last year came against the Rams in Week 14 when Puka Nacua went off for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Johnson said he's never given up passes like that in that game. That was the first time he'd done something like that in his football career. He and head coach Mike LaFleur, who remember was the offensive coordinator for the Rams at the time, they've talked about that game. Johnson says the NFL speed is slowing down for him in year 2, and he's confident in his value in this secondary.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I felt that throughout OTAs, just how everything slowed down and you're kind of more anticipating than just reacting. So that makes you able to make a lot more plays. I feel like I'm very comfortable in this defense and know what my role is. So I'm excited to go show it on Sundays. Takeaways, you know, that changes the game. So being more productive. I feel like you said, we got a lot of potential in all areas, from the D-line, linebackers to the back end. So as long as we play together and are all on the same page, I think we'll make a lot of plays.
The Cardinals and Panthers 1 week from tomorrow right here on 12 News for the Hall of Fame game, and Larry Fitzgerald finally getting enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We are your all-access pass all week, taking you behind the scenes along for the ride with Larry Legend.
And that'll do it for us. Thank you so much for watching 12 Sports tonight on the 12 News free 24/7 streaming app. I'm Cameron Cox. We'll see you back here Sunday night for the best sports coverage in town. Here's the lineup. Arizona's #1 sports show, 12 Sports Locker Room, right after Sunday Night Baseball, right here on NBC. And then, of course, 12 Sports tonight at 10:30. Good night. God bless.